Let's explore Sherpa Orchestrator's role in robotic process automation, what are the types of robots, licenses, and what are their differences. And let's start with Bob. Every workday, Bob comes into the office, turns on his computer, and starts the RPA robot that gathers data and prepares a report. While his computer is being controlled by a robot, Bob has time to make his morning coffee. The robot can verify with Bob the necessary information in a dialog box and continue or finish its work. Such robot is called Attended robot. As it runs on user's workstation, can interact with the user, is designed for pinpoint automation tasks. Attended robot can be started manually or set to run on a schedule in Windows Task Scheduler, but it will only run in a user's active work session. This Bob's robot was designed by Jane using Sherpa Designer. She is now working on a new, more complex, unattended robot. But while she is testing it on her workstation, it's still considered attended. Even at this level, the benefit of Sherpa Orchestrator is worth mentioning. Sherpa Orchestrator is a software running in the Sherpa Cloud or on a separate server within the company, on-premise. Jane can use Orchestrator as a convenient repository of all the robots she has ever developed. They are called processes in Orchestrator terminology. And also packages that are reusable automation parts. When Jane's colleague needs to automate a part of the process that Jane has previously developed, they can download the required package directly into Sherpa Designer, modify its components to suit their task, and save a lot of time. Also, if they come up with a way to improve this package, they can publish a new version to Orchestrator. Yes, both packages and processes have a version control system. And what about Bob? Bob has a manager, Sarah. Sarah is passionate about statistics. For example, she is really interested in what queries Bob and his colleagues use a certain robot for, and how often they use it. Attended robot can record logs with any information and screenshots directly to Orchestrator. Sarah can access them in the web interface and create a nice chart of the department's effectiveness. But still, the main functions of Orchestrator are tightly related to unattended robots. Opposed to attended robots, they run in special virtual machine accounts, do not interact directly with the user, are designed for massive pipelined processes. Unattended robots interact with Orchestrator through Coordinator, the software that distributes the workload and gives orders to VM accounts that unattended robots run on. They can work collaboratively to perform uniform tasks, set tasks to other robots, and their triggers can have advanced logic. Let's imagine an automation process where unattended robots would be quite useful. The company's website has a form where a visitor can upload a file to estimate the cost of their order. These requests are placed into the Orchestrator's queue of tasks using API. The problem is that the file in the request may turn out to be either a Word document with a list of required goods, or a scan of this list, or even a photo of a napkin that it is written on. To simplify the work of managers, we create a robot that can identify product names in the file, query the database of their cost, and generate a pre-estimate. If the robot is confident about the result, for example, the document matches the approved template, it sends the estimate by email right away. In other cases, it moves the task to another queue, adding the results of its work. All of this requires no human involvement and is perfectly suited for an unattended robot. But how does it work from a technical point of view? In Orchestrator, a trigger is fired, adding a new task to the queue to process a request. A new job is created. Job is a requirement to assign and start a robot to perform a task. Orchestrator sent a command to Coordinator to create a new RDP session in a virtual machine or on a terminal server. Coordinator woke up an unoccupied robot. Robot performed the job. RDP session is closed. All of this without any user involvement. But what about the rest of the requests that the robot is not confident of the result? It's a good idea to have them verified by a human. We don't want to send a misleading estimate, right? The attended robot can monitor the tasks in queue number 2 and show Bob both the original file and the unattended robot's estimate. Then offer options: edit and approve or cancel if the request is not related to the estimation. And lastly, let's talk about licenses. What is their difference? Besides the license for the Sherpa Orchestrator itself, there are 3 types of robot licenses. Attended – named licenses for attended robots. They are bound to a specific PC user account. 1 license, 1 user. However, you can deactivate it and activate for another user. Attended floating license allows you to quickly switch the license from one robot to another without having to make changes on the workstations. The license transfer is made in the Orchestrator interface. Unattended license is for unattended robots, and its capacity is balanced between all unattended robots that it is assigned to. You can assign it to even more robots than its capacity, but only a certain number of robots will be allowed to work at the same time. The rest will wait for their turn.